There are sports cars and then there are Ferraris. The Italian brand has earned itself a very special place in the heart of sports car lovers around the world because it has a particularly emotive quality which is hard to explain. Nor is the appeal of the brand limited to petrol heads only. Driving a Ferrari is like being a celebrity. Everybody waves, smiles, takes photographs, claps hands, even hoots. This is the Ferrari California 30 and is every bit as fast as it looks. The California 30 is the most affordable member of Ferrari's production car offering, but at £3 million plus, it's certainly not a cheapskate runabout. Compared to the focused, uncompromising 458, the California is a more approachable and some would say more practical take on the supercar theme. The California might be the current entry-level Ferrari, but there's nothing junior about the performance. The California 30 designation means that this car is 30 kilograms lighter than the original and has 30 horsepower more, and all of that translates into pretty rapid performance. 0 to 100 time 3.8 seconds. It'll do the quarter mile in 12 seconds and the top speed 310 kilometers an hour. The California is unmistakably Ferrari, not just because the prancing horse is proudly displayed on the grille, but because the styling hits the sweet spot between beauty and aggression. Nor is there any need to choose between Berlinetta or Spider. This is a hardtop convertible, which means you can switch to topless driving at the push of a button. The California is a classic 2+2 GT car with a long prowling nose providing a welcome home to the muscular V8 engine. The rear is short and pert, suggesting both muscle and agility. At 4.6 meters long, 1.9 meters wide, this car is certainly not small, and it also weighs more than 1.7 tons. But the streamlined shape of the Pininfarina design is lithe and flowing, and it suggests a thrilling driving experience. Don't expect hardcore race car handling though. It's surprisingly supple with a good balance between comfort and response, and yet the feedback from chassis and steering is direct and unambiguous. Not surprisingly, the heart and soul of the California is this V8 engine, and for once you can actually see it in all its scarlet glory when you open the bonnet. You'll also see that it's mounted quite far back in the interest of decent weight distribution and balance. In its latest guise, it produces 360 kilowatts of maximum power together with 505 newton meters of torque, and it delivers that urge to the rear wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox. It's a fine transmission, but somehow it lacks the romanticism of the open-gate manual shift that used to be a Ferrari hallmark. Instead, you use the F1-style paddles to swap cogs, which is both quicker and more efficient, but certainly less involving. Stylish comfort is also part of the package. The interior of the California is a 2+2, but to be honest, you'll struggle to fit more than 2 toddlers into these rear seats, and in many ways, it's probably best to just treat it as additional luggage space. But up front, it's very much thoroughbred sports car. Profiled seats, flat-bottom steering wheel, and this little Manettino, which of course is the way that you adjust these days in Ferraris, the driving mode. The large round rev counter gets pride of place in the instrument binnacle, while the center stack is dominated by a touchscreen display that serves as the interface for the car's entertainment system. While there is seemingly endless scope for individualization, the California's standard spec is luxuriously comfortable without resorting to opulence. The real leather upholstery and meticulous stitching is notably upper class, while the discreet brightwork is solid metal. California is supposed to be a user-friendly Ferrari, not quite as hardcore as a 458 Italia, for instance, but it's still a true sports car. The chassis nice and supple and actually quite easy to control, but the feedback from the chassis and the steering very much direct, very much to the point. And if you start driving this car with intent, it talks to you like a true sports car. have expected anything less from a car bearing that famous prancing horse, and for all its ease of use and confidence-inspiring stability, the California's rear end will start squirming in the lower gears if you get too eager on the loud pedal. A reminder that this is a real Italian stallion. The last time I drove a reasonably modern Ferrari was a 575M at the Spa racing circuit in Belgium. And I have to say, by comparison, this California 30 is an absolute revelation, mainly because it's so approachable and so tractable. Plus, you have the added benefit with that retractable metal roof of having both a Spider and a Berlinetta in the same package. But most of all, it's the sense of occasion this car exudes that sets it apart. Driving a Ferrari is always an exciting experience. The stats confirm the performance pedigree, with a high-revving V8 feeding plenty of muscle to the rear wheels. A finely balanced chassis adds further appeal. A fluid shape and clever metal folding roof ensure plenty of head-turning presence, but only toddlers will fit into those rear seats.